Hello, students. How are you? I hope you all are fine. So, welcome back to my lecture, Grade 10, Chapter 2, Topic Control and Coordination. So, today we will discuss last few topics of this chapter. So, let's start. Tropism in the plant. Tropic movement in the plant. Tropism is basically the response to stimuli or signals that coming from one direction. If the movement of the plants toward the stimulus, then it is known as positive tropism. And if the movement of the plants away from the stimulus, then it is called as negative tropism. There are different type of the tropism. First is phototropism, second geotropism, third chemotropism, and the fourth one is the hydrotropism. So let's start with phototropism. Photo, that means light, and tropism, that is the movement toward any stimulus. So the growth movement in the plant in response to light stimuli, that is known as phototropism. For example, the flower head of a sunflower, which show positively phototropic movement as it moves from east to west along with the sun. The shoots show basically for positive phototropism while the root is showing negative phototropism. Why fruits like groundnut are formed underground? The ovary stalk of the groundnut is showing positively phototropic before fertilizations and become negatively phototropic after fertilization. This is the reason why fruits like groundnut are formed underground. Now in this picture you can see phototropism in the mung bean seedling. The shoot is basically showing positively phototropic movement towards the light. Now geotropism. Geo means gravity and tropism, movements toward any stimuli. The growth movement in the plant in response to the force of gravity, that is known as geotropism. In the geotropism, shoots basically show positively geotropism or negative, very good, and root basically showing positive geotropism. Now chemotropism. The growth movement in the plant in response to chemical stimuli, that is known as chemotropism. For example, the growth of pollen tube toward the ovule in the ovary, that is example of the positive chemotropism. Now third is the hydrotropism. The growth movement in the plant in response to water, that is known as hydro means water. For example, the roots of some plant grow towards the water source even when the water source is not present directly below it. Now plant hormones. So let's start with phytohormones. In the plants, that growth, development and responses to the environment, that is controlled and coordinated by a special class of chemical substance. These are known as phytohormones. These hormones basically produced in one part of the plant and translocated to the other part of the plant. For example, a hormone which is produced in a root, that hormone is translocated to other part where they are required, that means toward its target site. Thus the growth hormone of the plant are known as phytohormone. These are naturally occurring organic substance. They are synthesized in minute, a small quantity in one part of the plant body and translocated to the other part where they are required. There are different type of the phytohormones that we will discuss in this lecture. First is auxin, second gibberellin, third cytokinin, fourth abscisic acids, last one is the ethylene. These phytohormones play important role in the plants. So let's start with auxin. When the plants growing, the part of phototropic plant that will detect sunlight, and auxin, which is synthesized at the shoot tip, which help the cells grow longer. When the light falls on the one side of the plant, then the auxin generally diffuse towards the shaded side of the shoot. This stimulates the cell in the shaded area to grow longer than the corresponding cell of the illuminated region. This results in the curvature of the plant stem tip towards the light. That means toward the light, that plant part will show the movement. In gibberellin, they are produced in the roots of the plant. So they promote stem elongation by promoting cell division in the internal nodal region. Now, cytokinin. They promote cell division. Therefore, they are present in the greater concentration in those areas of the plant where rapid cell division occur. For example, tips of shoots. Now, abscisic acid. Abscisic acid basically promotes seed dormancy by inhibit the cell growth. It also involves in opening and closing of the stomata, and it is basically responsible for the shedding of the leaves. Now, ethylene. The main role of the ethylene in the plant that it regulates fruit ripening. It is produced during the ripening of the fruit. Now, fruit ripening is basically ethereal or ethephon, that is a liquid which is sprayed on the plant to facilitate fruit ripening. It contains a dilute solution of 2-chloroethyl phosphonic acid which break down to release ethylene, and then that ethylene help in the artificially ripening of the commercial grown fruit such as pineapples, mango, banana, etc. And how is over ripening prevent? Carbon dioxide in the higher concentration which prevent over ripening of the fruit as it inhibits the production of the ethylenes. Do you know that a sixth category of plant hormone has been recently discovered? This new category is popularly known as steroids. Steroids are not only involved in the growth but also in the regulation of plant activities. Plant activities such as response to stress, invading pathogens, etc. So with this slide, your chapter number 2, control and coordination, has completed. Great. So if you have any doubt, then you can ask me anytime. So in the next lecture, we will discuss next chapter. Till then, stay at home, stay safe, be happy, and thank you.